heaven and hell. The wisdom of the angels. Opus Heaven 3. 271. Such are the angels of the third heaven because they are in love to the Lord, and that love opens the interiors of the mind to the third degree, and is the receptacle of all things of wisdom. It must be understood also that angels of the inmost heaven are still being continually perfected in wisdom, and this differently from the angels of the outermost heaven. The angels of the inmost heaven do not store up divine truths in the memory and thus make out of them the kind of science, but as soon as they hear them they perceive them and apply them to life. For this reason, divine truths are as permanent with them as if they were inscribed on them, for what is committed to the life is as something contained in it. But it is not so with the angels of the outermost heaven. These first store up divine truths in the memory and stow them away with their knowledge, and draw them out therefrom to perfect their understanding by them, and will them and apply them to the life, but with no interior perception as to whether they are truths. Consequently, they are in comparative obscurity. It is a notable fact that the angels of the third heaven are perfected in wisdom by hearing and not by seeing. What they hear from preachings does not enter into their memories, but enters directly into their perception and will, and becomes a matter of life. What they see with their eyes, however, does enter into their memories, and they reason and talk about it. This shows that with them the way of hearing is the way of wisdom. This, too, is from correspondence, for the ear corresponds to obedience, and obedience belongs to the life, while the eye corresponds to intelligence, and intelligence is a matter of doctrine. The state of these angels is described in different parts of the Word, as in Jeremiah, "I will put my law in their mind, and write it on their heart. They shall teach no more every one his friend and every one his brother, saying, Know ye Jehovah, for they shall all know me, from the least of them even unto the greatest of them." Jer. 31:33, 34. And in Matthew, "Let your speech be yea, yea, nay, nay. What is more than these is from evil." Matt. 5:37. What is more than these is from evil because it is not from the Lord, for the truths which are in the angels of the third heaven are from the Lord, because they are in love to him. In that heaven love to the Lord is willing and doing divine truth, for divine truth is the Lord in heaven. Of the correspondence of the ear and of hearing. The ear corresponds to and therefore signifies perception and obedience. The ear signifies the reception of truths. The correspondence of the eye and its sight, from which the sight of the eye signifies the intelligence that belongs to faith, and also faith. 272. There is yet another reason, which in heaven is the primary reason, why angels are able to receive so great wisdom, namely, that they are without the love of self. For to the extent that anyone is without the love of self he can become wise in divine things. It is that love which closes up the interiors against the Lord and heaven, and opens the exteriors and turns them to self. Consequently, all in whom that love has dominion are in thick darkness in respect of the things of heaven, however much light they may have in worldly matters. The angels, on the other hand, are in the light of wisdom because they are without the love of self. For the heavenly loves in which they are, which are love to the Lord and love towards the neighbor, open the interiors, because those loves are from the Lord and the Lord himself is in them. That these loves make heaven in general, and form heaven in each one in particular, may be seen above. As heavenly loves open the interiors to the Lord, so all angels turn their faces towards the Lord. For, in the spiritual world, it is the love which turns the interiors of every one to itself, and whichever way it turns the interiors, it also turns the face, since the face there makes one with the interiors, of which it is their outward form. Because the love turns the interiors and the face to itself, it also conjoins itself to them, love being spiritual conjunction, and shares its own with them. From that turning and consequent conjunction and sharing, the angels have their wisdom. That all conjunction and all turning in the spiritual world are in accord may be seen above. 273. The angels are continually being perfected in wisdom, but they cannot be so perfected to eternity that there can be any ratio between their wisdom and the Lord's divine wisdom. For the Lord's divine wisdom is infinite and that of the angels finite, and between what is infinite and what is finite there can be no ratio. Angels are perfected to eternity. 274. As it is wisdom that makes the angels perfect and makes their life, and as heaven with its goods flows into every one in accordance with his wisdom, so all in heaven desire wisdom and seek for it as a hungry man seeks food. So, too, knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom are spiritual nutriment, as food is natural nutriment, and the one corresponds to the other. 275. The angels in one heaven, or in one society of heaven, are not all in like wisdom. Their wisdom differs. Those in the middle are in the greatest wisdom, and those round about even to the borders are in less wisdom. The decrease of wisdom in accord with the distance from the middle is like the decrease of light verging to shade. The light they have is in the same degree as their wisdom, since the light of heaven is the divine wisdom, and everyone is in light in accordance with his reception of wisdom. Respecting the light of heaven and the varying kinds of reception of it, see above. Next, I will write the state of innocence of the angels in heaven. 1. Thank you.